The last time Bitcoin printed a pattern like this on the chart, the whole crypto market exploded towards the upside. What if Bitcoin moves around 50% up in the next 24 to 48 hours? You will see the likes of XLM, HBAR exploding between 50 and 100% towards the upside. Are you ready for that happening? In this video, I'm going to explain why you only need to hold these a few different cryptocurrencies and tell you how much of those coins you need to hold if you want to be successful in the next bull market. Hit the like button. Let's get into it. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room as we look into this Bitcoin chart. I know that there are some very highly respected crypto YouTubers and other social media experts, such as Gareth Soloway, Benjamin Cowan, who don't agree with what I have to say. And that is absolutely fine. I highly respect both of these guys because they present a really solid argument, talking about a number of different factors that indicate that we may well be about to roll over into a further dip towards the downside, where they talk about being down towards 12k, 11k for Bitcoin, etc., because of the situation in the world right now. And I respect that, and I take this into consideration when I do my own estimations of things. But there is one thing I do think is problematic for what they talk about, and that is, what if they're wrong? If something like this plays out, this is a post from El Crypto Prof. You can see that after the COVID crash, we break up, we have a retest of this level, and then you can see it blows up in towards the upside. Now, I'm not saying that this is necessarily 100% right either, but you'll see from this level, there was never any pullback. There was lots of people sat in this area down here saying similar things to what these two guys were saying then. If that pullback never comes, and they don't have any exposure, they miss out on this entire move towards the upside. The worst case scenario is if crypto did pull back towards this area, they would still have had exposure, and eventually the coins and things they had bought would have moved towards the upside. Now, something that had me questioning where we are right now, and their argument as well, is what I see right now is this latest video from Altcoin Daily, where they address the fact that the big banks and big financial institutions are completely manipulating crypto markets, and they provide proof of this. Talk about Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, saying 4 or 5 years ago that there was no interest in BlackRock investing in crypto. None of their investors were interested in crypto at all. And now you've got BlackRock basically now telling you that crypto is the future, blockchain is the future technology. They're now applying for the BlackRock ETF, the Bitcoin ETF for BlackRock, and they have now completely flipped on this head. Around the time they were saying this, that there was no use cases for crypto was falling towards the downside, at which time it's now been proven that they were accumulating crypto. Same was then true of Jamie Dimon, who was the CEO of JP Morgan, saying that he would fire any of his traders who were investing in cryptocurrency. The price of Bitcoin around that time fell like 40%. He was investing in cryptocurrency. And this has basically meant that whatever we hear from the banks, positive or negative, should be basically taken with a pinch of salt. And then if you think that maybe right now they're delaying the approval of these ETFs, basically, which has this impact on the price, like this, where you pump towards the upside and then it rips back down because they get rejected, then you will start to see that maybe this information, these pieces of news are starting to push the price back down into what are called buy zones. And this green area for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a buy zone and has been an area that I'm accumulating whenever we enter back into this zone. And you can see that we have this push towards the downside, we have another push, and last time we broke through this area, look, the price of Bitcoin moved from current levels around 17%. And right now we have literally just broken down below there, and the next move up would be to the top of this kind of megaphone pattern here that we can see playing out. If we break like this, then the top of this pattern for the next move is going to be from this level, then you could be looking at a move towards the next part around 17-18%. And if we get breaking beyond there, then the next move realistically is up towards $35,000 to $40,000. This would signify a lot of people jump in and be like, we're in a bull market. So what does that mean for us? Well, I get it. Maybe I'm being too bullish. Maybe I'm being too positive. Maybe right now, this is what plays out. We get bounced, we come back down, and then we go into a bear market. If this happens for Bitcoin and the price drops down 28%, maybe you get even back down to these lows earlier this year, you would be down around 42%. 42% down from current prices. So for example, if I was to invest $1,000, I would be sat in the red $420. So the only question we can be asking ourselves right now, whether we're bullish, whether we're bearish, is, can I live with myself if I am down $420, maybe a little bit more, on my investment in Bitcoin? When we get into altcoins, this might be a little bit of a different story. HBAR, for example, if it rolls back to take out the lows from earlier this year, which were happening around Monday the 2nd of January or Friday the 30th of December, you'll see it'll be down 28%. So on my $1,000 model, that'll be in the red, $280. Can I live with that? Well, if you are not prepared to live with being down 20, 30, 50%, then I would suggest that maybe cryptocurrency is not for you. Most people who are anticipating jumping into a position and expecting it just to go up from there will get wrecked at some point in cryptocurrency or in just trading in general. Crypto is a particularly volatile asset, and there's one thing you must understand. When you make the decision to pull the trigger and you buy it or sell it, you can no longer control the outcome of that move. So this is what we must be aware of. If I make the decision, however, not to pull the trigger on HBAR, and HBAR rallies back towards highs it saw earlier this year, which are 93% higher, can I live with myself and know that I have to get involved in crypto at a much higher level? And you're like, okay, 93% towards the upside, I can live with that. So let's say on $1,000, right, HBAR goes up to here, and it does from that price a 10x. Now the difference you'll see in your 10x is you'll be walking out with your $1,000 investment for 20k in profit. However, if you were to get in after the price pumps up to here, well, you'll be walking away with simply 10k. So it is very important. Okay, it does make a big difference. The same argument, however, goes for will the price get lower down? And that's ultimately it. Because if we get back towards this level, the people who are telling you that Bitcoin is not in a bull market will still be telling you that Bitcoin is in a bear market. In my opinion, those guys are not going to flip bullish until we probably break a high up here, okay, around 48k, which in my opinion means you're kind of too late, because the accumulation phase is happening right now. The big money, the smart money, is accumulating while there is uncertainty in the market. They're not buying when everyone flips bullish. When everyone flips bullish, that's when you want to start exiting your positions. So in my opinion, it's that simple. Right now, we can see the Bitcoin has broken beyond this trend line, has come back to retest it, is now pushing again, and yet it's struggling a little bit above $27,000. But most people have been saying that 26,800 was the key level to break, which was down here. You can see it's been broken, and now it's starting to push higher. If it's pushing up here, then we could be well prepared for something very exciting playing out. However, it may also do this, where it comes back down for another retest and pushes higher. This blue line is probably the most solid line. I will remain bullish until we solidly break and close below here. And even if it does go down lower, my sentiment throughout the whole year has remained bullish. And that's because all of these cryptos that we talk about on this channel, with the exception of very few, will be worth significantly more than they are right now in the future. That's all we can really understand. That's all anyone really knows. So which tokens do we need to be holding right now? Well, right now, we have the luxury of being very, very early in the market. But before I tell you which tokens I would be accumulating right now if I was you, let's hear a word from our sponsor today. Now, just the other day, I was trying to find a website so I could put a bet onto the Rugby World Cup, and I wanted to find myself a crypto betting site. I then came across Casino Fans, which is awesome because they can match your deposit up to 100%. all the way up to 1 Bitcoin. So if you deposit 1 Bitcoin, you'll get an additional 1 Bitcoin to play with. Now, as I mentioned, guys, this is a crypto gaming site, and you can see across the bottom all of the different cryptocurrencies that you can deposit. You just click on whatever it is that you want to deposit in, then you can just select Bitcoin here, and you can choose the amount that you want to deposit. Now you can see these are the available bonuses, one for the casino and one for the sportsbook. And as you can see, coming across to the sportsbook, you can get all of the major sports that are being played all the time around the world, and some of the best odds that I have seen on any betting site out there. Now, coming across to the casino section, there are over 5,000 different casino games that you can go and play here, ranging from traditional casino games like roulette and blackjack, all the way up to different spin slots and all that kind of thing. You'll also get up to 150 free spins, and just this week, if you deposit more than $50, then you'll qualify to be in a competition to win 1 Ethereum. Here are some of the different games and slots available down here below. You can see you can go through different crypto classics, arcade games, jackpot games, and so much more. There's also tons of different racing events, and some of these have the license where you can watch the live event through the website, connects via MetaMask, and is all very straightforward and easy to use. As well as that, you can qualify for up to 20%. Now, if you use that link down below in the description, then you'll be able to qualify for that Ethereum competition. You'll also be able to qualify for that 100% deposit back bonus. So make sure you're using that Casino Fans link, which is down below in the description. Obviously, guys, gamble responsibly and make sure you're having fun. If you're not having fun anymore, then make sure you are not playing. Well, in the past, I've talked about the path to altcoin season. And what is the path to altcoin season? Well, this is phases of a bull market. Lots of people right now are focusing on sort of smaller cap altcoins and things like that. Whilst these kind of new coins that are coming in right now might see some good pushes towards the upside. We've seen Casper having a very good run this year, starting to see Metacade having a good one, Tenet, another one that's been featured on this channel as well before. There's a path to altcoin season. What does it mean? Well, we see a big push ultimately, first of all, in the Bitcoin price. Why do we see Bitcoin pushing first? Well, it's the least risky of the crypto assets. We'll then start to see a move in kind of Ethereum level, and you can see this if you look at the Bitcoin versus Ethereum chart. They will then get into the large caps. Now, I think this is more suitable for perhaps the last bull market, but the larger caps, of which I'm talking the Solanas, the H-bars, etc., will all fit into our kind of phase 2 area. They will go hand in hand with Bitcoin. We've already seen a big move from Bitcoin this year, and I think we are going to see a big push in the alts coming up right now as well. So which one should I be holding? Should I be buying these cryptos? Which is better than the other? Well, guys, here is my answer. And you probably, if you're just one of those people who wants to be fed and stuffed with the right answers the whole time, might find this a little bit hard, a little bit difficult to swallow. If you've invested in the idea that you could potentially be down, if you invest right now in crypto, you could be down 30 to 40% and you're all right with it, then you would probably have been pulling the trigger, if you were me, on a number of different cryptos right now, but probably the likes of Solana, which I've already talked about this year, is building up in total value locked, it's building up in transactions, it's still recovering from that FTX drama that happened at the end of last year. Still a larger market cap coin. It's likely to see a good bit of success this year. It's likely to perform well if Bitcoin performs well. Okay, so if Bitcoin performs well, you can see Solana driving back up towards this sort of high that it saw earlier on this year, 59%, maybe even higher. But ultimately, I think Solana is going to do much better than that. Given that its last bull market high is like 15 times higher than where it is right now, I think Solana is quite a positive one. Also, the fact that it's very closely linked to the Bitcoin price has me more positive about it. XLM Stellar Lumens has also shown a great bit of volatility this year, with all that good stuff happening with XRP. XLM, I think, has a more positive outlook in that it's smaller market cap than XRP, and also kind of solving a few different areas outside of the XRP model. I think XRP as well is too heavily manipulated by large institutions, despite that being the kind of the main story of where it's going. But XRP, again, a reasonable hold. The cool thing that we've got with XLM here is that we can see a 66% push back to where we were in the middle of July. I would say as well, HBAR has another very good shot at being able to rally. And you can tell that it has a good shot at being able to rally, and that it has already seen a good rally this year. And that push to that price point up there is 94%. Now, in terms of how much of these tokens you need to hold, this is probably the most irritating and stupid question out there, okay? Because the answer is so different for whoever it is. Now, I get it. This is something you want someone to basically hold your hand and guide you through and tell you exactly what you need to be doing right now. And I'm going to go as close to doing that without giving you BS answers, which is probably maybe what you want to hear, but what you really shouldn't want to hear. The difference between you and me is a lot of different things because we're different ages. You might have kids, I don't have kids. You might have different mortgage payments and rent payments from me. You might have relatives you need to look after. You probably have a different income from me. You're probably a different age from me. There's so many different factors that mean that it's completely impossible to work out what is money to you compared with what is money to me. I might be more willing to put more or less money towards something than you. Well, this is where you have to grow up and become an adult about things, okay? And decide how much am I prepared to be able to lose, and how much do I want to be able to win in the next bull market, and how much can I be comfortable with not having, or whatever it is. This is really only something you can come up with as yourself. But be aware, there's few better times right now in crypto than there is right now. So I'm not going to tell you how much of each token you need to hold and how many you need to be able to go and be a millionaire, because you can go and work out how to do that yourself using a calculator and CoinMarketCap and maybe a bit of wishful thinking, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is what I will be doing if something like this occurs. I'm going to use HBAR as an example. If HBAR pushes, and let's say it pushes from current levels up into an area of interest, 92%. Let's say I put in $1,000. I get to there in HBAR, and that leaves me with $1,900. And what was it? $20 or $2, something like that. At this point, I can do one of two things. I can leave it in there and hope that HBAR is going to make me rich, of which if I put in $1,000, it's probably not going to, because even from there, a swing up to here is going to make me $4,800 on top of my now $1,900. Okay, so I'll be able to walk away with like 6K, which is pretty good. Okay, but nothing exceptional. Although obviously 6K is not a small amount of money, and you know, maybe it could change your life. Could be pretty happy with that. I wouldn't be upset with that, of course. But for me, this is a better option. We get up to here, we've now got $1,920. This is where we leave $1,000 in HBAR, and if $1,000 goes up here, my $1,000 makes me $4,800 and whatever dollars, okay? I'm happy because now I've got $5,000 up here. That's pretty good. Because with the other $920 that perhaps I've made here, I have something else I can look into. I could potentially go and try my luck. And this is where I can try my luck, because remember, I got my $1,000 locked in, and this technically was free money because I never had it before. And that $920 could maybe go into like 4 or 5 different projects. Let's say we've made $1,000 because it makes it easier for my bad mouths. You could take that $1,000 and you can maybe try $100 into 10 different projects. And if you've done your research correctly and you find some pretty cool hidden gems out there that have the potential to do like what other cryptos out there have done this year, where they've already done 10x in a bull market like Casper, or you can find other coins that, like Gala, during the last bull market did 268x, or you could talk about like Solana that did like 480x. If you take your $100 and you do a 480x, you will make $48,000 from that $100. Which is why right now you don't need to be so upset and so like pressured into finding the very best coins and altcoins. I would suggest that right now I would have no more than 10 different altcoins, maybe even fewer, that are higher ranking in terms of the market caps, because they're going to see growth earlier. That's why I'm talking simply about the likes of Solana, XLM, XRP, Ethereum, Veracity, which I am aware is sort of slipping a bit outside of that kind of top names in the game, ICP, and I know a lot of people are screaming and shouting at me Casper right now. There's a big reason I'm not mentioning Casper, because I am already invested in Casper, and I just want to sort of say something while we're looking at Casper. The reason I'm not mentioning it, and I do think it's still a solid investment, and it still will see some growth towards the upside, is this. I've drawn a red box for a good reason, and that red box indicates where Casper is in all-time high level, okay? Buying into all-time high level is always a bit risky, because you might tend to see a pullback in the price. And that is what I would then be waiting for, would be for Casper to move up and then come back towards this zone. Then I'm more comfortable buying it. Why do I want to be more comfortable buying it? Well, look at what happened last time Casper ran into this area of interest. It fell 34%. The reason I'm talking about the other cryptos right now is they are already down. They're already in this area, like down here, like the pullback areas, okay? That's why I'm more interested. Casper, however, could be a good bet. If it does pull back towards this zone, you better believe it, then I'll load up more. But however, I'm waiting for a push and a retest, and then I'll start to look to accumulate it. That's my simple, honest answer why I am not talking about and pushing people towards Casper right now. But that's basically my breakdown of where we are, where I think I am, and then why I'm prepared that even if I'm wrong right now, that we push towards the downside and I can still live with it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video today. I know maybe it got a bit long, but hopefully it's useful to maybe have a look at things from a slightly different angle than perhaps we're reading all the time, rather than just having polarized views on things. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.